Hey everybody, I'm here to practice subtracting across zeros with you. If you would just please try these problems yourself on a piece of paper, pausing the video when you need to do some of the work, and then restart it to make sure that your work matches mine, and note any questions that you have to ask me during class. Okay, here we go. Go ahead at the top of your notebook paper and just write in what we are studying. Then you can see that I copied these problems on using the columns in my lined paper to help me. So the first problem that we're going to take a look at is 806 take away 42. So I'm going to start in my ones place. I like to use my hands to cover up so that I don't get ahead of myself or make mistakes. So I suggest covering up as you go for subtraction. 6 minus 2, I can do that, no problem. 4. Slide over. 0 minus 4, I can't do that. I can't take 4 away from 0. It's not a big enough number, so I'm going to have to borrow next door. So the 8 is going to become a 7, and the 0 becomes a 10. 10 minus 4, I can do that, is 6. Then I'm going to bring the 7 down, and I can see my answer is 764. Okay, problem number 2. 1004 subtract 246. So here we go. When I do that, I notice that I cannot take a 6 away from 4, so I slide next door. But I notice, and I like to sometimes say, nobody's home because it's a 0, and I can't borrow from that, so I need to go over again. Oh my goodness, the same thing has happened. Not a problem, keep going. All right, finally the neighbor down the road has something I can borrow, so I will cross that off. That becomes a 0. I'm going to go to this spot and add the 1 here. I cannot go all the way down. I have to go each place value. So now I have something in this spot. So now I'm going to take away something from this spot to give to the spot next door. So this becomes a 9 and this becomes a 10. Okay, now I am able to borrow for the 4 to become bigger than 6 so I can subtract. So now this becomes a 9. And this becomes a 14. Okay, so 14 minus 6, you can always put the big number in your head, 14 in your head, and the little number on your fingers. So you have 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Okay, and then 9 minus 4 is 5. 9 minus 2 is 7. And then there's nothing left in the thousands column to bring down, so my answer is 758. Okay. Over here, I have 30,000 subtract 4,603. Okay, so I can see there's a lot of zeros coming my way, and I know I'm going to have to do a lot of regrouping like I did over here, but we're going to try to remain calm and do one step at a time. So when I cover up, I see I cannot take 3 away from 0, and I know I'm going to have to go all the way down here to borrow. So we're going to take 1 away from that, and it becomes a 2. I give it next door. That becomes a 10. Now I can take 1 away from that and give it next door. That becomes a 10. Take 1 away from that. That becomes a 9. This over here becomes a 10. And now I have to take 1 away so I can borrow from this number over here. That becomes a 9, and this becomes a 10. So you just have to go one step at a time. Don't just start marking things off and doing whatever. Take it one step at a time. Okay, 10 minus 3 is 7. 9 minus 0 is 9. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 4 is 5. And I bring the 2 down. 1, 2, 3, comma. So my answer is 25,397. Okay. Sorry about the dogs. Okay, the last problem is super challenging, and that has 500,000 subtract 70,398. Okay, so right away, again, my brain says, oh boy, there's going to be a lot of regrouping. I'm going to not panic. I'm just going to cover up and go one step at a time. So I cannot take 8 away from 0. And when I look next door, I see all the neighbors are not home. All the way down the street, somebody's home. So I'm going to borrow from them. So I cross 1 off. The next number becomes a 10. So that's gone down 1. This has become a 10. I got to borrow for this neighbor. Subtract 1, add it over here. Now I got to borrow from this neighbor. Subtract 1, borrow over here. Now I got to borrow for this neighbor. Subtract 1, borrow it over there. And now I'm to a place where I can work with this number. So I'm going to subtract 1 and give it here to this last place value. And now I can go 10 minus 8 is 2. 9 minus 9 is 0. 9 minus 3, 6. 9 minus 0, 9. 9 minus 7, 2. And I bring the 4 straight down. Okay, 1, 2, 3, comma. So my answer is 429,602. So I'm going to circle my answer. Please remember that you can add these two bottom numbers together to check your work. So if I was taking a test especially, I was going to slow down enough that I could do this to check my work to make sure I'm getting the numbers right. So I'm just adding, I'm doing the opposite of the function. So right now we're subtracting, so to check a subtraction problem, you're gonna add. So I'm adding my answer to the second number here. So I'm gonna check, so 2 plus 8, 10, 1 plus 9, 10, 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 3 is 10, 1 plus 9, 10, 7 plus, 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 7 is 10 again, and 1 plus 4 is 5. And so I can see that these two numbers match, and I say, yep, in fact, I have gotten it right. I feel good about my test question. All right, I hope this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any more questions, and we will just continue to subtract and practice and take one step at a time and be calm, because you can do hard stuff. Thanks, bye.